Today's Distorted View podcast is brought to you by...
Pop superstar Jem just donated all the proceeds from her latest concert to help third world children with cleft palates. But what's this? Good evening, welcome to the 10 o'clock news. I'm Dash Sprintley. Tonight's top story, shocking news from the world of entertainment. Platinum recording artist Jem tweeted today that White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders has, quote, a lazy eye and the body shape of a linebacker suffering from scoliosis carved from mashed potatoes. Leading conservatives are calling for a nationwide Jem ban. Who's gonna get Jem out of this pickle? Introducing the members of Firesnap social media, Slit, Bug, and Trisha Chow Mein. Wow, these action figures are totally poseable. They head up Firesnap's crisis department, and they'll take over Jem's online presence and smooth things over with that wonky-eyed heifer Sarah Sanders. Trisha Chow Mein has slanty eyes. Slit drives around in a Tesla. These toys are outrageous. And if things get too out of control, they can call their friend Martin Scoville, an associate of the law firm Weissman, & Fletcher. Martin looks like my dad. Those litigious pricks at the White House will regret waging war with Jem. He's got an action briefcase. Slit, Bug, Trisha Chow Mein, and Martin Scoville action figures sold separately.
Jem!
Ooh, I want to dance with somebody. Ooh, I want to feel the heat with somebody. Yeah, I want to dance with somebody. Wait a second, let's just end this. Wait a second. I'm so sorry. You know, I had that cold, and I still have a buildup of, like, phlegm and stuff that happens occasionally. And when I was going, I want to feel the heat, it was just bringing it all back up. Now, I know you could hear it with the music in the background, but I have just my vocals isolated. Please take a listen to this. Ooh, I want to dance with somebody. Ooh, I want to feel the heat with somebody. Yeah, I want to dance with somebody. It's the most vile, disgusting thing I think I've ever heard on like 10 plus years of Distorted View. Holy shit, I was practically choking on phlegm there. Yeah, I want to dance with somebody. I'm sorry. What the hell? Okay, that's it. We're done with the show.
Hey, Freaks, it's Friday, July 12th, 2019. Coming up on the program today, who doesn't love the sight of a puckered asshole? Plus, what's a worse genre of music? Kazoo covers or polka rock? DV investigates. Eating human feces to get a second high, and rally shits.
Eat my cock.
You know, the taste of semen is quite a flavor.
If you gon' suck a dick, then you suck a dick.
This sauce is good.
It's the Distorted View Show with Tim Henson.
Yes, welcome to yet another episode of Distorted View Daily. I am your host, Timothy Haddish. Girl, I hope you're checking your Groupon app for amazing deals. I don't know, I saw Tiffany Haddish on a Groupon commercial, and I couldn't help but notice how similar she and I were. Like we're twinsies. I do have a great show for you today, and yes, we are ending the week, but remember, this weekend on the feet right here, we're kicking off Distorted View's Crude Summer. AdamandEve.com and Distorted View Daily have teamed up to bring you some of the stickiest, stinkiest, raunchiest Sextastic Tuesday stories from our almost 15-year history doing this podcast. I'll be introducing some of my favorites every week. If you've missed Sextastic Tuesday, after a few minutes of Distorted View's Crude Summer, you're going to remember exactly why. It's okay we don't do this bit on a regular basis anymore. Again, be on the lookout for the first installment of that this weekend. I do have a bunch of great audio for you today. As I've mentioned time and time again, the life of a voiceover actor or actress must be pretty tough. Unless you're, like, the top guy, it's difficult to find consistent work. So you end up doing some gigs you're not exactly proud of to pay the bills. Everyone's gotta eat, which is Rally's slogan. By the way, did you know, speaking of rallies, No one's speaking of Rallies. I brought it up, but whatever. I'm speaking of Rallies. Rallies, for those of you that don't know, or Checkers. It's also known as Checkers in some parts of the United States. It's a fast food chain. Their burgers are absolute shit. Gives me diarrhea every time. As a matter of fact, I had Rallies today. Here's an outtake from today's episode of Distorted View Daily. As a matter of fact, I was trying to record this very part of the show, and this is what happened. If you're not, like, the top guy, there's... Oh, sorry. That's Rallies trying to escape my ass violently. The thing is, I'm sure I've had decent burgers at Rallies. I don't think they cook them enough. That's my theory. The reason why I keep going back to Rallies, though, is because they have really good fries. They're seasoned. Them motherfuckers are tasty. I'm sorry, I'm channeling Tiffany Haddish again. It's like staring in a mirror. Why am I talking about Rallies? I forgot. Oh, back in the early 90s, it's another 1990s story for you from Grandpa Tim. Back in the 90s, there was a very popular, at least in my head, it was popular. No one seems to remember this commercial. I think maybe it was only popular amongst my school friends. This commercial was hot in Ashtabula, Ohio, where, ironically, Rallies did not exist. Anyway, there's a commercial where a very young Seth Green from the movie Can't Hardly Wait. I'm sorry. That's not where anyone would remember Seth Green from, aside from me. Seth Green, creator of Robot Chicken, and he voices Chris Griffin on Family Guy. And he was in the movie Can't Hardly Wait. One of my favorites, because I was a teenage girl in 1998 when it was released. Anyway, Seth Green plays a cashier at a shitty fast food restaurant in this Rallies commercial. Take a listen.
So, let me repeat your order here.
So this is a fast food restaurant called Pricey's.
Let me repeat your order here. That'll be 1 double cheeseburger, ching. Large fries, no large soda,
cha-ching.
2 kids meals and 2 medium sodas, ching. 1 chicken sandwich, large fries, and a vanilla milkshake. Bada bing. That'll be $62.75.
Yeah, I guess the commercial is saying, look, Rallies has way more affordable food. It may kill you with all of the E. coli. You'll be shitting your brains out for a week, but hey, you're too fat anyway. You could stand to lose some weight. Anyway, that was a very popular ad. Everyone in my school was going, ching, bada bing, you know.
Remember when you could feed your whole family fast food for less than $10? Well, at Rallies, you still can.
You could barely get a meal for yourself for under $10. By the way, this commercial must have aired right before Rallies had a brand makeover, because the music sounds like, I don't know, interstitial music from Roseanne.
Less than $10? Well, at Rallies, you still can.
Fucking harmonica.
Right.
They then switched it to, you gotta eat! Nah, gotta eat! Or some bullshit like that. I'm sorry, this show has once again digressed into commercials of Tim's childhood. So what I was going to mention about voice actors is, yes, sometimes they have to take jobs doing things that aren't exactly savory, including hentai, also known as anime porn. I have some new great hentai acting here. Take a listen.
Jackpot. Oh, I love the sight of a puckered asshole.
Same.
You're not a real doctor, are you?
Oh, we've all fallen for this before. I like how that was the dead giveaway for her. Doctors don't typically mention how nice your puckered asshole looks. Time for your colonoscopy. Let's see. Oh, that is a nice puckered butthole.
You're not a real doctor, are you?
I don't have a diploma, but I have read a lot of self-help books. And I've studied the finer points of ass play. And it looks to me like your derriere needs some breaking in.
This doctor sounds like he has a deviated septum. Just a note.
Leave my ass alone!
I think you'd better cooperate. Agreed? Get to it.
Give me a minute. I'm really not sure what you want. But I know that in the past, when I've had my ass examined because of my constipation problem, it did excite me. And even though I couldn't push out a dookie, I still craved the tingle of tinkling. And my releases...
I love that someone wrote this. They thought it was important to tell this part of the story.
And my releases would come when I least expected it.
I hear ya, honey. Oh, sorry. Sometimes that release just slips right out of ya.
Oh, I'm so ashamed of myself.
Nothing's hotter than a woman ashamed of her body.
Is this what you mean by ass play? I'll do what you want. Just teach me how to, please.
Bring him over here.
Him?
No, please.
There's a prisoner involved.
No.
Will your boyfriend ever look at you the same way now that he knows you've experimented with ass play? Well, that's his problem. A man like me, who studied the Kama Sutra, knows the secrets of the anus.
Oh, so that's what he's a doctor of. He has a PhD in the Kama Sutra. The churning of the cream is my specialty.
I can't handle it. All this anus talk.
You want a butt plug?
You're a pig! You're a pig!
I really do wish you hadn't called me that. Time now for the further education of your ass. Just remember, this is for your own good. Someday you'll thank me for this.
Commence anal raping! I've got some great music to share with you today. You know, the sequel to Frozen is coming out later this year. If you have a young girl, well, you're going to be dragged to that shit show. That, of course, isn't even the worst of it. Wait till they learn the songs. Let it go, let it go. That song was everywhere, right? As a matter of fact, there is even, a kazoo cover. I mean, a bad kazoo cover. Still, after you hear Let It Go like 1,000 times, it's nice to hear a version where they switch things up. No lyrics. Here it comes. Okay. Is a kazoo even really considered a musical instrument, or is it just a toy? I'm on the Wikipedia page for kazoo, and they call it a musical instrument. The kazoo is a musical instrument that adds a buzzing timbral quality to a player's voice. I would argue that's not a quality. People complain when they've got a buzzing in their head. Buzzing never leads to good things. You're either about to be stunned, or whatever is making the buzzing noise is about to just completely break. My computer's making a buzzing noise, and it's starting to smoke. If I ever get elected into office, and I fully expect to, this is going to be my first order of business. We're going to have kazoos reclassified from a musical instrument to a public nuisance. The Wikipedia article goes on to say, the kazoo is played professionally in jug bands and comedy music. Enough said. I've got a better cover song. How about Linkinpark, where the vocals remain R.I.P. Chester, but all the instruments are replaced with polka music.
Tired of being what you want me to be. Feeling so faithless.
That poor motherfucker is turning in his grave.
Don't know what you're expecting of me. Put under the pressure of walking in your shoes.
Caught in the undertow, just caught in the undertow.
Every step that I take is another mistake.
Polka music always kind of sounds like carnival music, you know? This song is called Numb. Doesn't quite line up right.
I've become so numb, I can't feel you there. Become so tired, so much more aware. I'm becoming there.
The guy who did this is Andy Rayfelt. I'll provide a link on the show notes to this because, you know, he put in a lot of work. I think he created the polka music. You can play this and annoy your friends. Let me just fast forward to my favorite part of the song. Good job, Andy. Moving on now. This Bagel Man thing is getting annoying. A couple days ago, I featured a clip of that short little shit freaking out at a bagel store, screaming at women, complaining that ladies don't like him because he's short, right? And then he got into a fight. So yesterday, I played new clips found on his personal YouTube channel. He's calling neighbors faggots, calling dates gold diggers, and then leaving them in the parking lot because they won't go home with him. It's just a jerk, right? Well, Inside Edition is now covering the story. They tracked him down. It went about as well as expected.
Blow up at the bagel store.
Everywhere I go, I get the same smirk with the biting lip.
A customer just loses it because he says women reject him over his size.
Why is it okay for women to say, oh, you're 5 feet on dating sites? You should be dead?
Because that's unusual. Like, oh, you're 5. That's weird. That's strange, right? Most guys are taller than 5 feet tall.
That's okay?
Who said that to you here? Nobody.
Women in general have said it on dating sites. You think I'm making up?
He's like a yappy little chihuahua.
Watch what happens when another customer tells him to calm down.
Dude, you want to step
Calm
outside?
down.
You want to step outside?
She's got a little bit of that virtual rape in her.
Huh? I'm not scared of you, pal.
Then somebody else tells him to cool it.
Go ahead and attack me.
Watch what happens next.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
A melee ensues.
Back on his feet, he aims his anger at the female staff working the counter.
The counter. He directs his anger at the counter. You know, people go to school to talk like that. Kind of bullshit, right? Waste of money.
Just look at this customer's bemused reaction.
Yeah.
The crazy video took place here at Bagel Boss in Bayshore, Long Island. He was degrading.
We caught up with the asshole to get his side of the story.
As women, that's not right.
The video exploded on social media with 21 million views on Twitter alone.
Shut your mouth!
So who's the guy who sure seems to have issues about his height? We've learned his name is Chris Morgan, and here he is. He spoke to Inside Edition producer Allison Hall.
Notice they didn't have a reporter talk to this guy. They had a producer. Why do you think that is? Well, looking at the video, they probably just picked out the tallest woman they had on staff to make this guy feel even worse.
We've learned his name.
It's like a giant towering over him.
Is Chris Morgan, and here he is. He spoke to Inside Edition producer Allison Hall.
Do you think that a bagel shop is really the place to take out all of this anger with all of these strangers, public, innocent people around?
Why not? What do you mean take it out? And you're acting like I committed mass shooting or something. That guy, twice my size, that women love, the bullies, attacked me.
Yeah, but that's after you went on your little tirade. And he didn't really punch the midget. Midget. He kind of tackled him and kind of just hovered over him to calm him down. It's like when a cat's going crazy, you throw a blanket over it, so it can't see.
He was quickly done talking.
You know what? I don't really know.
He was quickly done talking.
Twice my size, that women love, the bullies, attacked me.
He was quickly done talking.
No.
You know what? I don't really, no offense, I don't really like you that much, so this interview's over.
It turns out he's posted videos of other nasty confrontations.
Watching short people storm off is hilarious. I just want a compilation of that.
About his height on his YouTube channel. Here he is at a convenience store.
I come in here to get a coffee, and this jackass right here asks me what is my height.
In a bar.
Bragging on a midget, right?
In his neighborhood.
And you threaten to...
Technically, I don't think 5 foot is a midget. I think he would like to be classified as a midget for all the perks.
This right here asks me what is my height.
In a bar.
Bragging on a midget, right?
In his neighborhood.
And you threaten to punch a guy that's half your size?
Oh, they cut it off. That was right before he called his neighbor a faggot.
Now comes the most epic battle of all. In the bagel store.
In the bagel store.
Step outside.
For Inside Edition, I'm Vanessa Twatland. All right, and with that, let's get into the crazy, bizarre twist of that fucked up news right now. If you like Distorted View Daily, please consider signing up for the Sideshow and supporting this stupidity. Every week we do exclusive programs just for Sideshow members. Yesterday was a Sideshow exclusive podcast, and Tuesday's program was also Sideshow exclusive. We try to do at least 2 of those a week. Plus, you get full access to the entire archive of programs. We've been at this since December 2004, so there's almost, 4,000 past programs. A very healthy, robust archive. That's how I would describe it. Sign up right now. Membership's very inexpensive, only $6.99 a month. It's even less when you opt for a quarterly, semi-annual, yearly, or lifetime membership. Remember, all credit cards and PayPal accepted. I've made it so very easy to take your money from you. Again, superfreaksideshow.com. Thank you to all of my current Sideshow members. Other ways to support the show, we do have a Patreon account. You can throw a few bucks my way each month. Patreon.com/distortedview. Get access to some exclusive videos. I'm doing like a little personal podcast thing over there. I've done a couple episodes of those. Another one coming up real soon. Patreon.com/distortedview. All right, 3 very quick stories now. First up, we got one from Colorado. Dogs in the Roaring Fork Valley have found another way to get stoned, other than the boring break-in of edibles. I think the person who wrote this news story is stoned. What? Dogs have found another way to get stoned other than the boring break-in of edibles at home. Dogs breaking, I guess, climbing on the counter, finding their owner's edibles and eating them. Now they're eating human feces tainted with marijuana. Wait a second. So when you eat marijuana edibles, that's not digested? Weed comes out in your poop? And it's still enough to get you high? Guys, I know this sounds gross, but I want to eat the poo-poo. Hear me out. If you find that you're spending too much of your monthly income on weed and weed-containing consumables, wouldn't it be amazing if you could re-eat some of those pot brownies? In a way you can. Is there a way you can maybe strain out the weed from the poop? Or I guess strain the poop from the weed? Rinse it off? Someone needs to do some research on that. Yes, dogs are eating human feces tainted with marijuana. Dr. Scott Dolignow, who owns Valley Emergency Pet Care, said he's seeing anywhere between 3 and 10 dogs a week that come in with marijuana toxicity. His working theory is that these dogs are eating human shit that Okay, how are the dogs getting to the human poop? Who's not flushing the toilet after they take a big steamy bowel movement? Everyone knows the saying goes, if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it the fuck down. I love that this doctor has the theory that the dogs are eating human feces. His working theory is that dogs are eating human feces that have enough THC, the psychoactive ingredient in marijuana, for it to carry over for a second high. That's going to be the name of my company that recycles human poop into second use pot poop brownies. We'll call it second high. They're finding these piles of pot-laced poop on trails and in campgrounds. Oh, I see. 70 to 80% of people say they have no idea where their dogs got it. But they say they were out on a trail or camping. I can't believe that the owners are lying. Well, it might not be the owner's poop. If they're out just, walking their dogs on a trail and the dog gets into someone else's poop, wouldn't that make just as much sense? It's unlikely that many people toss an edible or a roach on the side of the trail, he said. It also makes sense from the level of toxicity we see. The phenomenon is occurring in places like San Francisco, just chock full of doobie smoking fairies, where there's a high population of homeless people who defecate in parks. Oftentimes there's not much vets can do, and owners just have to let their dogs ride out the high until they come down. In more severe cases, dogs are either sedated or treated with IV fluids. The doctor added that when he's hiking in Hunter Creek, he notices human feces just off the trail on a regular basis. God, humans are gross. Price Hadley, ranger supervisor for Pitkin County Open Space and Trail, said he's not seen evidence of human waste on open space. Sure, Price. What are you, fucking high? Obviously, we encourage people to follow the leave no trace principle in the back country and use established facilities in the front country. Rebecca Cole, the owner of Marty, a 2-year-old cattle dog, got into some poop. The dog got into poop, not Rebecca. He was crashed out. I had to carry him to the vet. I literally walked in the door and they said he was high. I couldn't believe it because I don't have anything in my house. It was scary, she said. I just want people to pick up their poop. It's sad that in this day and age, that's simply too much to ask for. Second story we have for you today. Someone's madder than fish grease. Someone's as mad as chicken grease. A sweeping smell has overtaken one neighborhood on the Treasure Coast of our most fucked up state. Say it with me.
Shout out to Timmy Boo of DistortedView.com from Florida, our most fucked up state. Shout out to Timmy Boo, nigga.
Thank you. Neighbors have caused a stink about an overbearing odor of chicken grease that is believed to be coming from a Popeyes along Canner Highway. It's disgusting, said Charlie R., who said the odor keeps he and his family indoors when it's at its worst. The odor is more than you can handle. You can't be in your backyard and enjoy swimming or a cookout when you're smelling that odor. It's just horrible. The neighbors said the smell was especially bad on hot, sticky days or on windy days. That's when you really smell it, said Patty Jasperson, who walks her dog regularly near the Popeyes. The restaurant's owner was contacted, and here's what he had to say. We've worked closely with the county and the neighbors in the past to address any and all ongoing concerns. In September of 2018, I agreed to install a $30,000 exhaust cleaning unit that everyone was diligently requesting, and I currently spend thousands of dollars every several months to professionally maintain our ventilation system. Something is going horribly wrong there because, I am a Popeyes customer. I frequent that establishment quite often. I never smell anything like that. It's gotta be, they're not getting rid of their grease. There's gotta be like a grease disposal issue, right? We are the only restaurant venue in Treasure Coast to have one of these ventilation systems, as well as the only Popeyes in the entire system to have installed the unit. We did so as a gesture of our good faith. Basically, he's saying, fuck you, I've already done enough. If you're smelling something funky-dunky, buy a Glade plug-in and shut the fuck up. I will be meeting with Commissioner Hetherington shortly to discuss any remaining options that we may have. According to the neighbors, they didn't smell the odor when the owner first installed the system, but the neighbors claim the restaurant hasn't cleaned the system properly. Of course, the owner promised the residents before he bought the place that we would never smell the odor of chicken, Charlie said. But we smell the odor often, and it is horrible. You know, I will say this. In Ashtabula, you know, we have a mall, believe it or not, this town of like 12 people. They built a mall in the 90s. I think it must have been approved in the late 80s during a slight economic boom. And by the time it was finished, I think we were in like a bit of a recession. And, you know, the mall has always just been a real shithole. 3 or 4 years after it was built, like half the tenants were gone. One of the anchor stores of the Ashtabula Mall was a Super Kmart, which is weird, right? You don't see a lot of Kmarts in malls. But Super Kmart had like a deli section, and they would cook these fucking chickens and turkeys, and they never cleaned their, I don't know, grease traps or something? I don't know. But the ventilation system wasn't great. You know, it basically just made the entire mall reek of chicken grease. Like the exhaust was pointed at the main corridor of the mall. And that smell would get on the clothes of like from other stores. Like you'd walk into JCPenney's and you'd be like, why does this sweater smell like chicken grease? All right, it's nasty. So I understand what that smell is, and I can't imagine like it just being permeated through an entire neighborhood. According to the neighbors, they didn't smell the odor when the owner first installed the system, but they're saying that he didn't clean the system properly. Martin County Commissioner Stacey Hetherington said, we're collecting the maintenance records of the system. The owner is working closely with the county. Our code enforcer is constantly in communication. This, of course, is not the first time we've covered Popeyes in the news. You may remember the great Popeyes chicken shortage of 2009.
Customers at the drive-thru heard this recorded message.
Sorry for the inconvenience, but we are all out of chicken
I love that that's the recorded message. That's the best they could come up with. The most professional they could come up with.
For the inconvenience, so we are all out of chicken.
We all out of chicken. Sorry, bitch.
Thank you and have a blessed day.
Have a blessed day.
One woman yelled back at the machine.
People have kids that they trying to feed for the special, and you mean to tell me that we can't feed our kids?
The news reporter made it a point to say that this one was screaming at a machine.
Kids that they trying to feed for the special, and you mean to tell me that we can't feed our kids?
Go someplace else.
Because y'all didn't order enough chicken. Y'all knew y'all was having this special almost 2 months ago, and that's wrong.
But no one was listening. The Popeyes on Lake Avenue was closed by dinner time.
They just went ahead and shut down.
Are you kidding me? I think that's bad because I'm sure hungry.
No chicken.
No chicken?
No chicken!
I said I'm calling customer service now to see where there's another Popeye.
This is such a racist news piece. Every single person is black.
They always run out of food, sides, whether if it's mashed potatoes and gravy, coleslaw, they always run out of something.
Same thing happened to me when they had their Rippin' Chicken promotion.
Other locations ran out of chicken too. The $4.99 special too good to pass up.
I just left Penfield Popeyes. They were out of chicken there, so I
You're spending more money in gas driving around to all these Popeyes looking for your $4.99 chicken. Come on. All right, final story we have for you today. This one comes from Oklahoma, specifically Guthrie. Guthrie police had quite the surprise when they pulled over a car with an expired tag. It's a problem I have right now. I completely forgot to get my registration renewed. I hope I don't get pulled over. Just waiting for it to come in the mail. Luckily, I don't have like a fucking rattlesnake and meth in the backseat like this guy does. All right, yes, Guthrie police had quite the surprise when they pulled over a car with an expired tag. The car turned out to be stolen. Ting. And police said they found a canister of radioactive uranium. What? Kind of makes the whole rattlesnake thing seem quaint. I don't even know where you would get radioactive uranium. Apparently he was vacationing in Iran or something. All right, they found a canister of radioactive uranium and the rattlesnake. Yeah, he really did have a rattlesnake. And an open bottle of Kentucky Deluxe whiskey. A brand I'm not familiar with, but I'm guessing there's nothing deluxe about that whiskey. According to Guthrie police, an officer was patrolling the area of the 300 block of Viking Drive on June 25th when he noticed a car with an expired tag. My worst nightmare. The officer pulled over the car and spoke with the driver, later identified as 41-year-old Stephen Jennings. He looks like he's in at least his mid-50s, maybe early 60s. That's what happens when you're carrying around radioactive uranium all the time. It ages you. Police said Jennings' driver's license was suspended. It matches the tags. And the car he was driving had been reported stolen. He reportedly told officers that he had a firearm in the center console, and there was a timber rattlesnake in an aquarium in the back seat. He was taking the rattlesnake out for a drive. Officers said they searched the car and found a gun and almost a full bottle of Kentucky Deluxe whiskey open. Jennings and his passenger, I'm guessing that means the rattlesnake, were placed in police custody. A silver canister containing a yellow powdery substance was also found in the car. I'm sure police thought that it was drugs at first. Are you trying to snort this? No, you should never snort uranium. Actually, it said on the canister, the substance in this canister is uranium, so that was a clue. Crews with the Emergency Management Institute responded and verified that the substance was in fact radioactive. Police said they took possession of the substance for safekeeping. Jennings has been charged with a felony count of possession of a stolen vehicle. That's the least of his problems. A misdemeanor count of transporting an open container of liquor, operating a motor vehicle with a suspended driver's license, and failure to carry security verification. His passenger, Rachel, there was an actual human in there. It wasn't just the rattlesnake. Rachel is charged with possession of a firearm after a former felony conviction. Well, what about the uranium? You shouldn't be allowed to carry that either. I thought that would carry like the largest charge, but it's not even mentioned in there. Well, there you go. That's what's happening in Oklahoma and your world today, freaks. Let's do a couple voicemails and get the hell out of here. I love to hear from you freaks, and there really are many ways to contact me. I'm very accessible. Voicemail line for you, 206-666-4463. I'm going to play a few of those in just a second. You can always email me, show@distortedview.com. Find me on Facebook, facebook.com/distortedview show. I'm on Twitter. Occasionally I'll pop into our Discord, which we have. There's a link to the Discord on our main navigation bar over there at distortedview.com. You can chat with other freaks over there as well on the Discord, not just me. All right, let's check in with a few callers. First up, some patrons.
Hi, Tim. It's Dank Tim. I hope you get this message. I'm fucking really drunk right now, and I'm calling in to try to tell you the story I've been trying to tell you for fucking months now. So, when I was a little boy, I had my first best friend come over, and I was like, hey, bro, you want to see my mom's dildo? Cool. And the first day he ever came over, I showed him my mom's fucking red dildo.
Like, how old were you?
Well, I was a weirdo, and I didn't know how to jack off, so I would take my mom's dildo, put a condom on it, a condom. I'm sorry, I'm really drunk right now.
Is that like a cranberry-flavored condom? A crandom? It's like Crasians.
Condom. And I'd put it to my dickhead and cum.
So like you... It was like a vibrator, right? So you put your mom's vibrator to the tip of your dick until you came.
First time I did it, I literally thought I was ascending to heaven because I was a Catholic. And it was real crazy. And I did that for probably like 3 years.
Yeah.
And I was probably like 13 or 12.
It's like no one teaches you how to jerk off, so it's totally understandable. You're like, oh, this feels good. And you just kept doing it. Some people rub their dick back and forth like trying to ignite sticks on fire.
So I was almost 16 years old when I stopped doing that, and I learned how to actually jack off.
Wow. Oh, wow.
But
That took you a long time.
I already lost my virginity, so... It was
So you were jerking off wrong even after you had real sex.
Awkward. Anyways, I just wanted to tell you that quick story. I love you, Timmy Boo. Mwah.
I love you too. I think he's trying to vomit. He's still into that, huh? Thank you very much, Dank Tim, for that call. Insightful, as always. Everyone call in with their masturbation stories. How did you learn to manipulate your dick?
Yeah, hey, man. I've been watching or listening for about 3 months.
I was about to yell at you. This is an audio program.
You started out audio of fuck scenes. I miss those. Why come you don't play them anymore? Really like the perverted sex scenes. All right, that's all.
I think this guy listens to the podcast just to jerk off. Well, I played some, hentai porn today. That's something. If you guys run across any funny or bad porn, send it along to me. I'm always looking for good stuff to play. If you don't hear it on the show, it's because I'm not finding it. So I could always use your help there. But thank you for the call. It's always nice to hear what people are responding to on the program.
Tim, we love you.
But
listening to your show forever, and I don't know. I stopped listening for like 8 years or something, or 7 years.
Dedicated listener calling in.
To a lot of stuff, and I want to sign up for your Super Free Shite show. But you were just talking about how you throwing money at Lifetime Fitness like all day long, like, and not even like why? Like, we're gonna give you money just so you can give it to Lifetime Fitness.
Okay, first of all, it's Planet Fitness, the most ghetto-ass gym in the world. They're the cheapest. They're like $9 a month. I'm not spending all of your money. Do you understand that I need your money to live?
What the fuck, you know? I mean, come on. Like,
no, if
you're really that hard up on cash, why are you like paying for like 6 months of Lifetime Fitness for nothing? And you said you're fat. Like, I'm fat now too. So like, why do you even have a gym membership?
You know what? You do actually have a good point. You know what? Sign up for the sideshow and I will cancel my membership. That's my personal promise to you. All right. That is all the time we have on this edition of the show. I want you guys to email me, show@distortedview.com. Distortedview.com is our official website. Voicemail line for you, 206-666-4463. That's 206-66. Oh, God, is it? Oh, God.
And I've studied the finer points of ass play.
Spread the distortion, STD. Tell all your friends about the podcast. Don't forget to rate us and review us on iTunes. Remember, I'll be back this weekend with our first installment of Crude Summer, the best of Sextastic Tuesday. Otherwise, I'll see you back on Monday to do this all over again. Until then, bye, everybody.
It's a beautiful, 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 beautiful day.